Our very first inductee, all the way from Belgium, is Mark Kelly, a 1983 graduate. At St. Pius, Mark was a standout basketball player, earning team MVP honors, ranking as a top 10 player in Georgia, and being named to the McDonald's All-American second team. He was also selected to the DeKalb County tip-off team multiple times. And it wasn't just on the court where he stood out. Mark was also crowned basketball homecoming king. His time at St. Pius, although impressive, was just the start of a long basketball career. From 1983 to 1987, Mark played forward for the University of Louisville, becoming a key contributor in one of the most successful eras in program history. He helped the Cardinals win the 1986 NCAA championship, where they defeated perennial powerhouse Duke. Over his 4-year college career, Mark compiled an impressive 778 points, and he's ranked among the top 20 in block shots each season. After college, Mark took his talents overseas and enjoyed a successful 17-year professional basketball career in Europe. He played in 5 different countries: Belgium, France, Spain, Israel, and Finland. In 1988, he helped his team win the Finnish national championship. And then in '94, he was part of the team that won the French Pro Championship, one of the toughest leagues in Europe. And later, his team won the Belgian Division II title. Mark retired from playing professional basketball and turned to entrepreneurship. He opened the very first Subway restaurant in French-speaking Belgium and owned 4 restaurants for 13 years. Today, he works for a major airline catering company and continues to share his love for the game by coaching JV basketball at an international school in Brussels. We are so pleased to have Mark here today and to welcome him into the Athletic Hall of Fame.
So firstly, I'd like to apologize to the first group of inductees. I wasn't here in March. I wish I had met them. And I missed Mark Kelly and the Maloofs being inducted. And that I really wish I was there for. Thinking about what to say up here, this is hard to explain to everybody how it feels and how much honor you feel for getting this award. But I was last night with my friend Pete, and he was he asked me, what are you going to say? I said, I really don't know. So I thought I'd just explain it to you. So when I first found out I was going to be inducted, I was in Belgium with my coworkers, and I told them, I'm going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. Like, yeah, you play basketball? So that didn't I go home, tell my family, and they kind of like, yeah, way to go, that's it, they don't care. And then I got a text from Bobby Jones, and he's a player, and he was excited. He said, congratulations. And then got a friend over here, Paul Jardine, and he let me know that he was happy for me. And I was coming here, got here this week, got toured around the school, and Joe took me around, showed me my plaque. And I was thinking, man, this is nice. This is nice. And I saw some students that I was with. They congratulated me. And then full circle, Mark Kelly and his wife came. He was so excited. So excited for me to be in this. And he gave me a hug. And that's like full circle. Everything. So and I know it's not just me. It's all these guys that came. And even my buddy, James, I had to call you out. He came. And I haven't seen him in a while. And so these people care about this. This is not just for me. This is for the people who knew me at that time and contributed to this. So thank you all for this honor. All right.
Our next inductee is Jonathan Kerner, class of 1992. At Pius, Jonathan was a standout two-sport athlete, excelling in both basketball and baseball. A team captain during his junior and senior year, Jonathan's leadership and talent helped guide the Golden Lions to remarkable success. He was a key member of the 1992 boys basketball state runner-up team and earned multiple honors, including DeKalb County Boys Basketball Player of the Year in 1992 and selection to the AJC Class AAA All-State Second Team. During his senior year, Jonathan averaged 15.4 points and 10.4 rebounds per game, ranking among the nation's top 100 high school seniors. Known for his athleticism, rebounding, and presence in the paint, he was recognized as Atlanta's top players and helped lead St. Pius to a state semifinal appearance under Coach Mark Kelly. After St. Pius, Jonathan continued his basketball career at Florida State University and East Carolina University. Over his collegiate career, he played 78 games, developing into a strong interior player and team leader. He finished his college career averaging 9.5 points and 5.7 rebounds per game. Following his collegiate success, Jonathan went on to play professionally in the NBA and internationally. He appeared as a power forward with the Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks before building an impressive 8-year international career across Europe, Asia, Russia, South America, including time in Moscow on the EuroLeague. Today, Jonathan continues to lead off the court as head of sales and marketing for Free Sleeve, a company based here in Atlanta, specializing in athletic recovery and performance products. We are proud to welcome Jonathan Kerner, 1992, into the Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is quite a humbling honor to be up here. I was talking with some of the other inductees earlier this morning, and I think we all share a common trait. That Pius is a place where many of our journeys began, not just as athletes, but as individuals. For me personally, most of the awards came for basketball, but baseball did play a huge role into molding me into the person I am today. So I guess there's a lot of people to thank. First, to the coaches and staff, thank you for pushing us beyond what we thought our limitations were, for teaching us tenacity and how to handle adversity. When I walked into the gym, it brought back a lot of memories, and I started thinking about all the blood, sweat, and tears that were poured into this building, and also the number of practices and drills that Mark, Chuck, and the rest of the coaches took us through. And I thought I'd share one funny drill story that has always stuck with me over the years, and it involved two players lining up on the baseline, a coach rolling the ball out and blowing a whistle, which signaled those players to then sprint and dive as fast as they could to get to the ball first. Now, I've played a lot of basketball over the years, played all over the world, but Pius is the only place that I've ever done that particular drill. To this day, I'm still not sure what it taught us from a basketball perspective, but I will say through the loss of teeth, the loss of skin, loss of blood, and a few concussions here and there, it certainly gave me meaning to the term, leave it all on the court. I want to thank my teammates, because without them, none of this is possible. Whether we played together 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, we were a family on and off the court. We celebrated the wins, especially the ones against Maris. We learned from the losses, but most importantly, we built lifelong memories each and every day. To the students, the alumni, faculty, and fans, I want to say thank you for cheering for us through the good and bad times. I'll probably age myself a bit here, but in my senior year, Too Legit to Quit was the most popular song on the radio. And it became the anthem to our basketball season. So now, anytime I hear it playing on the old stations, it reminds me of hearing those four words chanted over and over again, helped lead us to that school's first state boys basketball championship appearance. So I guess thank you, MC Hammer. To my family, my parents and my sister, thank you for believing in me, challenging me, and supporting me. And to my amazing wife and daughters, who, by the way, have only had a chance to see me play through vintage VHS tapes. Girls, I hope this shows you what can be accomplished through hard work and dedication. This award's celebrated and shared with everybody mentioned, along with countless others who helped build my foundation. The foundation that supported me through my collegiate and professional athletic career, and a foundation that still supports me today. So, humbly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Our next inductee is Brian Rusoff from the class of 1993. At St. Pius, Brian was a multi-sport athlete, but he is best known for his remarkable wrestling career. Brian also ran track and was a member of the football team. Brian's wrestling career began in 5th grade, and during his sophomore year, he was quoted, "Don't worry, I'm not going to stop, I'm going to go all the way." And he did. Brian was our very first wrestling state champion, and he held that title until 2017. So think about that, a lot of years. During Brian's sophomore year at St. Pius, he had 33 wins, followed by 30 his junior year, going 38-0 his senior year until the state championship match, where he finished second, resulting in a 38-1 record. Brian won a total of 101 matches while at Pius. He was 2-time state champion in the 112 and 119 levels, and state runner-up at 124. Coach Daryl Woodall commented on Brian's junior year state championship match, one of the best matches I've ever seen. At .08 seconds left, Brian took down his opponent with a duck under at the whistle, resulting in a 6-6 tie. The match went into overtime. Then Brian hit a single leg takedown to win 8-6. This resulted in Brian winning his second state championship. His coach still remembers this. At St. Pius, after St. Pius, Brian attended the University of Georgia. Then he began his career in real estate, where he spent the past 20+ years. In 2016, he helped found his own residential development company, In Mind Communities, where he develops residential and mixed-use properties. Outside of work, Brian is deeply involved in his community. He's entering his 5th year as a volunteer assistant wrestling coach at Marietta Middle School. He also volunteers weekly with Acts 6 Ministries, an organization that serves the most vulnerable members of our community. And Brian, while he's very proud of his professional and his volunteer accomplishments, Brian shared that his greatest pride is his family. We are thrilled to induct Brian into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. First thing I would say is, a lot of people probably don't know a lot about wrestling. Wrestling, you're really governed a lot by, how good you can be by the competition and your wrestling partners every day. And I'm really thankful that I've got 4 of my former wrestling partners here today. Curtis Schmidt, class of 94, Joe Klessel, class of 93, Ted McGee, class of 92, and Dave Gallagher, class of 94. So thanks guys for being here. It means the most to me that y'all are here to share this with me, and you guys are a big reason why I'm here today. Even bigger reason. Well, first I'd like to recognize my beautiful wife Danielle and my 2 sons during college couldn't be here, but they are my proudest achievement. The biggest reason I'm here today is my parents, John and Patty. I'm so grateful for y'all. You guys worked so hard and sacrificed a lot to send me and my brother Grant to St. Pius, and just wonderful parents and role models, and so supportive through the year, since 5th grade. And, the biggest reason I'm here is because of my dad. He was my first coach, my best coach. He was, as we had turnover at St. Pius, he was there to help all of these guys, and he taught me everything I know. And beyond that, he was just pushed me just as much as I needed to be pushed. Never made me do anything I didn't want to, and just a perfect role model. So, thank you, Dad. And I'll just tell we're keeping this to a minute, just a quick story. my first state championship, I remember running and jumping into Coach Jane Kelly's arms, and then my sophomore year after that, probable comeback, I did the same thing with our assistant coach. And I remember my senior year, I was undefeated and didn't have a close match all year, so I just, it was a foregone conclusion I was going to win that last match, and was thinking to myself I was going to run this year to my dad, and that didn't happen, and I lost in overtime. But I just remember him hugging me and telling me how proud he was of me. I thought about that a lot through the years, Dad, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And that was probably the right outcome for me. I got some much needed humility, learned about preparation, and not underestimating the competition. So I thank God for my time here, for that experience, and I'm blown away to be here, and here among professional athletes and collegiate athletes, and I'm completely humbled to be here. I'm very, very proud to call myself a Pius alumnus, so always have been, and thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Our next inductee is Charles Barker, class of 1994. Charles was a 3-year starter and 3-year team captain of the St. Pius basketball team. Barker's senior year was nothing short of remarkable. He earned the title of all-time leading scorer. However, he wasn't just a scoring machine. He averaged 5.3 assists and 4.2 rebounds per game. Truly a well-rounded player. The team finished the season with an impressive 24-6 record. His senior season, he also earned all-team DeKalb honors and made the All-Metro Atlanta first team. After graduating from St. Pius, he played basketball at the University of Miami and the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, earning scholarships at both universities. While at UTC, he was a member of the 1997 NCAA Sweet 16 team and voted second team All-Southern Conference. He also made the top 15 for all NCC free throw percentages and ranked in the top 20 for three-point percentage. He excelled at UTC, named their top offensive player and team captain. Charles went on to play professionally in Italy for Team Treviso. He then played in the NBA Development League for the Brooklyn Kings, followed by the Los Angeles Pro Summer League. After his basketball career, Charles took his skills to education, where he has been for 26 years. He is currently principal of a middle school indicator, and he's been recognized as Educator of the Year on 3 separate occasions, as well as Administrator of the Year in 2023. He also is the owner and CEO of Barker Property Inspections. Charles serves his community as a member of the nonprofit organization EduTech Enterprises. This organization assists young adults who are homeless in foster care of victims of sex trafficking to get into college. Charles serves as a coach mentor for those students as they matriculate from their freshman year through their senior year. We are truly honored to welcome Charles into the Athletic Hall of Fame.
Good morning, St. Pius family. You know what? I don't know about you, but I feel amazing today. Not just because I'm being inducted into my high school's Hall of Fame, but because this is the day that the Lord has made. So let us all rejoice and be glad in it. And with that being said, let's try this again, St. Pius family. Great morning, St. Pius family. That's the St. Pius energy I'm used to. So if you all just bear with me for a second, because as I was speaking to some of my family members out here in the crowd, I was letting them know that it's been about 2 decades since I've been back home in this gym. And it's just a surreal moment. It was just like yesterday that we were coming down those stairs, coming out onto this floor. The crowd's roaring, bleachers packed to the ceiling, standing room only to come see us play. But then not only that, when we came on this floor, we had the confidence of knowing that any opponent that stepped into this house, they didn't have a chance to win. And so with that being said, this is definitely an awesome feeling. More than anything, I want to say I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful for the people who have supported me along every step of the way. Every morning I open my eyes, I thank God for his grace, for my purpose, and for the people who make my life worth living, my support system, my foundation. They're the reason why I'm standing here today. To my beautiful daughters, Charlie L. and Chandler Elise Barker, and my amazing wife, Larissa Barker. You three are my wife. You are my heart, my motivation, and my daily reminder of what truly matters. Everything I strive for, whether it's being a better husband, a great father, or a leader, starts with you. You make me want to be the best version of myself every single day, and I love you deeply. To my brother, Charles Barker, and his wonderful family, Devin, CJ, and Dylan. Thank you for always being in my corner. You've been my source of strength, encouragement, and definitely laughter. Through it all, I'm proud of you, Charlton, for the husband that you are and the father that you've become. But before I go any further, I must take a moment to acknowledge the two people who made everything possible for me and my brother. Sitting right over there are my parents, Dr. Charles and Dr. Sheila Barker. Outside of God, you're the reason why I'm truly standing here today. You poured so much love, discipline, and faith in us. You taught us to walk with confidence and to never let obstacles define us. You modeled what hard work and perseverance look like. You believed in us when we were too young to even understand what belief meant. And now, as a father myself, I realize just how much you sacrificed to give us the opportunity to be great. Dr. Barkers, thank you. I love you, and I hope that I make you proud. Just not today, but every day. I also want to thank my coaches for pushing me beyond my limits and holding me accountable, both on and off the court. You taught me lessons that went far beyond basketball, lessons about teamwork, integrity, and resilience. And to all my teammates, if you're in the building, please stand. My brothers, we went to battle every single day. I want to thank you. We pushed each other, challenged each other, and we made each other better. I'll never forget those moments in practice. As Big John stated, I didn't understand the meaning of those drills either, but hey, we got through it. The bus rides, the late nights, and the victories we earned together. One of my brothers is inducted today as well. I couldn't be proud to share this honor with you. Congratulations, Big John. Growing up in Decatur, thank you, fellas. Growing up in Decatur, Georgia, my parents instilled in us a powerful mindset that we could achieve anything we set our goals to, or set our minds to. The same belief is what I now try to instill into my daughters every day. No matter what the challenge looks like, with hard work and faith in God, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Now, I'll be honest, when I first came to St. Pius as a freshman scholar athlete, it was a bit of an adjustment. I had to get accustomed to the culture of St. Pius, and also St. Pius had to get accustomed to me. But in the end, it was one of the best decisions my parents ever encouraged me to make. The experiences, the relationships, the values, they helped shape me into the man that I am today. And for that, I will always be grateful. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for this great, incredible honor. And to all my fellow inductees, congratulations. This is your moment too, and I'm proud to share the stage with you. To the young children sitting in the gym today, keep believing, keep grinding, and remember, your journey might not look like everyone else's journey. But if you stay faithful and focused and stay true to who you are, greatness will find you. Thank you and be blessed.
We are honored to welcome our next inductee, Philip Rogers, class of 1995. Philip Rogers was a standout three-sport athlete at St. Pius, earning letters in football, track, and baseball. Over 3 seasons, Philip became one of the most dynamic football players in program history. As a senior, his leadership and athleticism propelled the team to new heights of serving as captain. He was also named team MVP, the best offensive back, and Philip set a single-season rushing record with 1,758 yards and the single-game rushing record of 290 yards. His outstanding performance earned him recognition across the state. All-state first team, all-county, AJC top 50, Super 11 second team, and the DeKalb County Offensive Player of the Year. He was also selected to play in the prestigious North-South All-Star Game. On and off the field, Philip's peers recognized him as the most athletic in the class of 1995 and even crowned him homecoming king. Philip received a full ride to play football at Georgia Tech, where he was a 4-year letterman and ranked among the top 20 all-time rushers in program history. A key contributor on the 1998 ACC championship team, he led the Yellow Jackets in carries and finished as the second leading rusher that season. Over his collegiate career, Philip totaled 324 carries for 1,264 rushing yards, added 19 receptions for 211 yards, and scored 17 touchdowns. After his college career, he fulfilled a lifelong dream by signing with the Dallas Cowboys as a free agent in 2000. The highlight of his career was being locker mates with Emmitt Smith. Philip earned his BS in management from Georgia Tech and later his MBA from Fordham University. He began his career in finance in New York, then moved to investment banking. He was a founding member of the Atlantic Capital Bank, serving as head of capital markets, before transitioning to real estate private equity with Coral Realty Advisors, where he currently serves as vice president. Beyond his professional success, Philip remains deeply committed to giving back. He served on the boards of the College Park Boys and Girls Club and Kendisi schools and continues to inspire young athletes as a coach. Congratulations to Philip on his induction into the St. Pius X Hall of Fame.
It is amazing to be here today. It has been a very long time since I've had a chance to just sit and be at St. Pius. There is no way that I could thank everybody that contributed to all the wonderful things I did with my God-given talent. It's been 30 years, so think about the coaches, the people, my parents, my teammates, my friends, and all that they've done for me during that period of time, and then you let that compound for 30 years. You can't hope to pay them back. You can only pay it forward. And so that's what I've done with all the amazing things that were provided for me. So the best way to summarize the way I feel in this moment is to say that I accept this honor on behalf of, because I didn't do it. I was a part of a process that started with my parents and was passed on to my school, St. Anthony's, to St. Pius, to Georgia Tech. And at that point, you're in your 20s. You know, sky's the limit. You've been raised straight and narrow, and the rest of life is easy at that point. So I will accept this on behalf of my parents, who were the standard for everything that came after them. You laid the foundation for everything that I'm doing today.
And if there's a common denominator, all the people who've been honored today, it is, for three of us, Fred and Teresa Rogers. So don't think about the numerator, think about that denominator. Those two helped do some amazing things and provided an amazing framework for all their children. John Alexander was my coach, and he taught me how to self-actualize. It is where you're living in your imagination for a while. You dream of who you want to be, and then you take steps to step into that and step into only your imagination can create. So he was both our head coach, but he was also, he ran the weight room. And so he'll help me dream on the football field, but then help me plan every day in class to prepare myself to step into that. He challenged me. He was a coach that I needed. And he was biblical, but more Old Testament, right? So he was very fire and brimstone. And that's what I needed, right? I got a heavy dose of that in college with George O'Leary, but I respond to that very well. Amazing man, I'm thankful for him. The next group of people are my brother and sister, Nick and Dan. After I finished playing, I understood what my purpose was, and that was to set the world on notice that something coming behind me was much greater. And Dana and Nick set the bar extremely high, and I'm so proud of them. Your efforts, your talent, your accomplishments gave my career purpose. Thank you for that. My friends that are in the crowd, Steve, Amani, my roommate from college, Conrad, Will's my big brother. Thank you so much. You came at a time when we were trying to figure out the world and our places in it. And I think we've done a good job getting through that period of time. You helped pick me up when I needed it. You were there for the victories. And during the down times when I needed to put everything back together, you were there. And that's 30 years of that. I think you're blessed to have one good friend. And I have 4 here today. So I'm thankful for that. My constant blessings. My wife, LaShonda, and my kids, PJ and Elena. You're evidence that God is continuing to bless me every single day. I thank God for you every single morning. And I'm glad that you can be here to participate in this. It's an amazing day. And finally, the most important people in the room is the next generation. So in my family, it's Olivia, it is Lennox, it's Laney, and it's PJ. And all the little folks sitting at the table. This message is for you. If you set your heart on something and you have a goal that you want to achieve, you're going to reach an obstacle at some point during that process. And that is not unique to you. Everybody that's being honored today went through that. And so what you have to do is embrace that. Because that means you have to change, you have to grow. You hit a wall. And so you, as you are today, can't get through that. But that does not mean that you can't change and grow to get to the other side of it, right? So that urge, that push to compel yourself forward is your ancestors. We call that DNA, that's a modern term for it. But that is also God whispering in your ear that I have something on the other side of this for you. So get there, I encourage you to do that. And if you do, and you listen, and you get to the other side, and you're a little bit lucky, you may have the chance to stand in front of all the people who made those things possible and say, I accept this recognition on their behalf. I love you guys. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Kerry Franklin, class of 1996. At St. Pius X, Kerry stood out as one of the most dominant tennis players in school history. As a left-handed competitor known for his power and composure, Kerry consistently led the Golden Lions to the state Final Four, anchoring the lineup at #1 singles and rarely dropping a match. His coach, Chuck Bird, described him as one of the best high school athletes I have ever encountered. I was thankful he chose tennis as his primary sport. He could have been successful in anything. Following an outstanding high school career, Kerry earned a scholarship to the University of Illinois, where he became one of the most decorated players in program history. He was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year in 1997, a 4-time All-Big Ten selection from 97 to 2000, and a 3-time All-American. He surpassed 100 career single wins and 100 career double wins, helping to lead the Illini to 4 consecutive Big Ten team championships. In 2000, Kerry captured the NCAA doubles championship and received a wild card invitation to compete in the U.S. Open. After graduation, he continued on the professional tennis tour from 2001 to 2005, achieving world rankings of number 68 in singles and 383 in doubles, and reaching the quarterfinals in doubles at the prestigious Delray Beach tournament in 2011. Kerry was later named to the University of Illinois' All-Century team for tennis, an honor reserved for the most accomplished players in program storied history. Kerry amplifies the lasting impact of athletic excellence as a husband, father of 3, youth coach, and leader at Salesforce. He applies the same determination, focus, and commitment to others that defined his championship career. We are proud to welcome Kerry Franklin into the St. Pius X Hall of Fame.
Well, this wasn't going to be easy to begin with, and then to get a follow Chuck and Philip, so really awesome, love that. I write my speeches down now after my sister's wedding. Those didn't go so well, so here we are. Good morning, everyone. It is truly an honor to stand before you as an inductee in the St. Pius Hall of Fame. Looking out at so many familiar faces, I am filled with a profound sense of gratitude and a wave of cherished memories. First and foremost, I want to express my deepest thanks to our amazing high school. St. Pius isn't this place of learning, is where I discovered my passions, started to dream bigger, and where I forged lifelong friendships. Thank you to all the great teachers and Father Lopez for providing such a rich and supportive environment that allowed me to grow into the person I am today. Man, I'm getting emotional. To Coach Bird and Coach Kelly, thank you. Your dedication, your belief in my potential, and your unwavering support were instrumental in my journey. You taught me the value of hard work, discipline, and teamwork, lessons that extended far beyond the tennis court. Coach Bird, you let me be me. You taught me that you can still be a cutthroat competitor and a gentleman at the same time. It only took me 20 plus years to learn the latter, but hey, here we are. Finally, and most importantly, to my family. This honor belongs to you much more than it does to me. Your constant love, encouragement, and sacrifices are the only reason that we are sitting together having this moment today as a family. You were there for every practice, every tournament, every triumph, and every disappointment. You taught me the importance of perseverance, supported my dreams, and always believed in me, even when I didn't. Thank you. You are my greatest champions. I've had plenty of time to reflect on what this means to me, and of course, I'm proud to be included in this inaugural Hall of Fame class, but honestly, this is a win for all the great parents and siblings. God knows I've been blessed with one of the best. This is a win for the parents that put their kids first, that choose personal sacrifice to help their kids dream big and achieve big, and to help pick up the pieces when there are heartbreaking losses, injuries, or just rough patches in general. My mom, dad, sister, and even my brother drove me to places I never thought possible. This is also a win for the tennis players and the other athletes that maybe don't get the recognition they deserve as 15, 16-year-old kids. A lot of us in this group get overlooked by the football and basketball players as teenagers. Maybe we develop a little bit of a look at me complex, and maybe I was one of those kids as a teenager. I will say it sure felt good walking out on the courts of the U.S. Open as an NCAA champion and remember what it took to get there. To my fellow inductees, congratulations. It's so cool to see everyone here. It's an honor to share this moment with such an accomplished group. Work hard, dream big, and never let someone else tell you what you're capable of. And if you start to believe in have doubts, call my family to get your head right. Thank you again for this incredible recognition. I'm truly honored and proud to be part of the St. Pius legacy.
Our next inductee is Beth Adams-Fack, a 1996 graduate. During her time at St. Pius, Beth was the epitome of a multi-sport athlete, earning varsity letters in softball, basketball, and tennis. She was recognized as best defensive player as well as all-tournament team multiple times for both softball and basketball. As captain of the 1995 softball team, she helped lead the Golden Lions to the 1995 Class AAA state championship, capping the season with a 456 batting average and an astonishing 583 average in the state tournament. Her performance earned her All-State honors, Player of the Year, and Finals MVP. In addition to her athletic achievement, Beth consistently earned honor roll status. After St. Pius, Beth joined the University of Georgia's inaugural softball program. She was a 4-year starter and left UGA as the program's all-time leader in hits and stolen bases. She was a 3-time SEC Academic Honor Roll honoree, NFCA Academic All-American, recipient of the Peach of an Athlete Award, and 3-time Team Defensive Player of the Year. Beth still ranks among UGA's career leaders in stolen bases, hits, runs, triples, walks, and the hardest to strike out and sacrifice hits. I don't know if there's many other records that are left. Beth earned her master's degree in applied exercise science from Springfield College, launching a career in strength and conditioning and coaching. She has served as a collegiate strength coach and trained U.S. and Greek national team players leading up to the 2004 Athens Olympics. She has also coached state championship winning high school softball teams, and today she operates Spank Sports and Fitness Development while serving as an assistant softball coach at Blessed Trinity Catholic High School. Beth is deeply involved with Strive for Girls, a program dedicated to empowering young female athletes through skill development, leadership, and confidence building. From her days leading St. Pius to a state title to her ongoing commitment to developing athletes, Beth's career is defined by her competitive spirit, leadership, and dedication to helping others succeed both on and off the field. And we are thrilled to induct Beth in the St. Pius X Athletic Hall of Fame.
Good morning. It's great to be here. I am truly honored to be with this group amongst all the others that have been inducted today and are getting inducted. This school and this community shaped me in so many ways, on and off the field. And it means so much to be recognized. When I moved down from Connecticut the day before my freshman year started, I wasn't sure how I was going to handle it. Being part of sports at St. Pius gave me a home, friendship, and the confidence I needed to go on. Without athletics here, I don't know if I would have made it through that transition. To my teammates, thank you for the memories and the bond we shared. And I'm especially glad to get to celebrate and share this experience with Jan. She's going to be honored in a little bit. One of my friends, one of my teammates, we get to be together still at Blessed Trinity, so it's a great honor. To my coaches, thank you for challenging me and teaching me life lessons far beyond the field. And to my family, thank you for your sacrifices and your constant support. I wouldn't be here without you. Most of my family's here. My kids are actually up in Toronto, getting to go to the World Series. So if you happen to watch tonight, you might get to see my daughter. She's getting honored when she's there for different things. So it's a busy weekend for us. The lessons I learned at St. Pius, perseverance, teamwork, and faith, are ones I still carry with me, and I try to pass them on as a coach and a mentor. So I thank you for this incredible honor, I'm very proud to be a part of the Golden Lions tradition. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Michael Passant, class of 1997. At St. Pius, Michael was a member of both the varsity soccer and basketball teams. On the soccer field, Michael helped lead St. Pius to a run of success, capturing 3 consecutive AAA state championships, 1995, 1996, and 1997. He was named the 1997 Georgia High School Soccer Player of the Year, while also earning first-team All-State, All-DeKalb County, and All-Region honors for 3 straight seasons. His senior year performance also earned him a spot on the National Coaches Association and Umbro All-South Region team and recognition as a high school All-American. After graduation, Michael attended the United States Naval Academy, where he continued to excel as a 4-year starter and team captain for the men's soccer team. His collegiate accolades include Patriot League Freshman of the Year, Patriot League Offensive Player of the Year, and multiple All-Patriot League and All-Region selections. In 2002, he was inducted into the Naval Academy's Athletic Hall of Fame, and in 2015 was honored as the Patriot League's 25th anniversary team as one of the conference's all-time greats. Beyond athletics, Michael has built a distinguished 24-year career as United States Navy submarine officer, serving in numerous leadership roles. His assignments have included tours aboard the USS Maine, USS Norfolk, USS Montpelier, and the USS Georgia, as well as command of the USS Maryland. He went on to serve as Deputy Commander of Submarine Squadrons 16 and 20, and currently serves as the Commanding Officer of the Trident Refit Facility in Kings Bay, Georgia. His service has been recognized with multiple military honors, including the Legion of Merit Award, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, and Meritorious Service Medal. Michael's excellence continues and extends into the community, where he has dedicated time to coaching youth soccer and football. In 2021, he was recognized with a Black Engineer of the Year Award for career achievement in government, highlighting his continued commitment to leadership and to service. Thank you for your service, Michael, and we're proud to induct you into the St. Pius X Hall of Fame.
Good morning. I'm a military man, so when I hear 1 to 2 minutes, I'm going to keep us on track. So it'll be short. So first of all, hello and good morning. I want to extend a hello from my dad, Harold Pazant, who was a big member of the community here in the stands when we were playing basketball and in the stands, soccer. He couldn't be here. He's at his homecoming at St. Augustine High School in New Orleans. My twin brother, Mark, who's paying it forward. He's a soccer coach in the area, so he's traveling with his 2 girls playing soccer. And my sister, Nicole, who's an 89 grad, she just had knee surgery, so she wasn't able to attend. But I'm here with my lovely wife, Christine. She made the trip to support me, so I wouldn't be the only person here representing the Pazant family. And I offer also, paying it forward, I have 3 beautiful children. Lily Pazant, who's a freshman soccer player at Florida Atlantic University. My middle daughter, Emery, who's at home watching the dogs, and my son, London, who God knows where he is right now down in St. John's, Florida. I have some prepared remarks, so I'll keep it short from there. But the last time I was here at St. Pius was almost 18 years ago when Father Lopez baptized Lily here, and then a couple of short years after that, he baptized our daughter Emery. So it's amazing being back here with all the previous teammates, Amani, Chuck, Marty, Philip. It's great to see everyone. So I'll get to my prepared remarks real quick. So I'm truly honored and humbled to be here amongst these incredible folks that we're acknowledging today. St. Pius, with the Naval Academy, started my journey and gave me the tools I needed to be able to lead this country's, brothers, daughters, fathers, mothers into harm's way. So I genuinely appreciate and thank this community for building and developing me to the person I am so that I could do that. It is a place that allows you to pursue academic and athletic excellence. It allows you to fail sometimes and build you back up. And those are the traits, I've needed as a leader to have. So I genuinely am truly honored to be here, and it's so humbling to be a part of this class. So thank you very much for this, and I look forward to ways that I can continue to pay it forward in this community here at St. Pius, because I need to do more for St. Pius, and I acknowledge that, and I appreciate what you're doing for me. So thank you very much.
Our next inductee is Jamal Spearman, class of 1999. At St. Pius, Jamal was a two-sport varsity athlete competing in both baseball and basketball. However, he quickly distinguished himself as a force on the basketball diamond. His standout achievements earned him Golden Lion top hitter honors in '98. His senior year, he was named to the All-Region First Team, the Georgia Dugout 400 Club, named Golden Lion MVP, and played in the Georgia High School All-Star Game. He also was a member of Team Georgia Sunbelt Team. His impressive high school career his successful high school career led the foundation for his success at Georgia Southern University, where he excelled as a shortstop. He earned all Southern Conference honors in both his junior and senior seasons. In 2002, Jamal was drafted by the Chicago Cubs. He played 6 years in the Cubs organizations and 2 years with the Washington Nationals, reaching the AAA level. He made the minor league all-star team multiple times. After playing professionally, Jamal became a scout for the Athletics Major League Baseball Club, and currently he's in the same role with the A's. Jamal has been an NCAA Division I basketball referee since 2014. The past 3 years, he has officiated in the March Madness tournament, as well as the ACC tournament. I can't wait to watch this year. The St. Pius baseball program has an award named after him because how well he continues to represent the mission of St. Pius, not only on the field, but off the field as well. The Jamal Spearman Award acknowledges the Golden Lion baseball player who embodies what it means to be a Golden Lion, in particular through their work ethic and representation of his team. Our current head baseball coach, Kevin Shonzik, shared that Jamal was always an exceptional worker. He would go to incredible efforts to ensure he got his training in. And beyond his talent, he worked incredibly hard and still does. And that's what creates separation at the next level. He's the model representative for the St. Pius X baseball community. We are proud to induct Jamal into our Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thanks, guys, for being here. We got a quick funny, to me it's a funny story. So, I'm doing basketball at Duke University, right? And this is when I knew I made it for me. And I had a tough call, and Coach K's coaching still. So I had a tough call, and I'm on the sidelines, and he puts his hand right on my backside, right on my butt. So I'm like, oh my God, Coach K's touching my butt. I made it. Yeah. I think all of us have gotten this award or walked through these buildings now that we're parents and older. We have a better appreciation for our parents. We don't really realize when we're in high school, paying the bills, the mortgage, the car payments, paying for travel ball, club ball. We don't see that. We don't appreciate that, right? So for Mom and Dad, thank you for the time you spent, the effort you gave me. And by me not appreciating all the time, I think that you saw a young kid that was crazy about a crazy dream. So I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for everything you've done for me in my life. Going to Fulton County Stadium to watch guys like Bruce Benedict, Dale Murphy, guys like that. You sometimes pick the games where you get the little wood bat and they'll give you like a softball. I used to love those days because when I would get those, I would get to go home and play with my younger brother, Sean, and it was so competitive. I remember if he cheated, in my eyes, I would purposely swing and miss and release the bat. So, Sean, thank you for creating competition to me, right? I want to show appreciation to the St. Pius community, for my friends, for the teachers. Walking through these halls is an honor. As an older individual, when I tell people I went to St. Pius, their eyes light up. And so I think there's a respect for the community. I want to appreciate Coach Harlan. As a scout, I've scouted a ton of players. I see a ton of coaches. I've been coached by a ton of coaches, Hall of Famers, Ryan Sandberg, Ricky Henderson. They're all great. None of them compared to Coach Harlan. I will run through a brick wall for that man. That's how much he means for me. And so, Mom, thank you, and Dad, thank you. I don't think you realized he was going to be a legendary coach, but thank you for allowing Coach Harlan to coach me. My dad's not here with us. He passed away a couple years ago, but I knew early on that I was in his Hall of Fame. And so for my dad, this is for you. You're my spirit, you're my joy, and you're the reason I work so hard. So thank you. Thank you, guys.
Our next inductee is Ashley Mitchell, a 1998 graduate. Ashley has strong St. Pius roots, as her Aunt Virginia was in our very first graduating class in 1959, and another aunt, her mother, 6 cousins, and 3 siblings all graduated from St. Pius. Ashley's running career started early. She won multiple state championships in the 800 and 1600 meters while in elementary and middle school. And she set the Georgia 14 and under mile record with a 5:13 time. Her success continued at St. Pius. In 1997, she was the region cross-country champion and 3,000 meter indoor state champion and DeKalb County cross-country runner of the year. In 1998, she was the region and state champion in both the mile and 2 miles, setting state and school records with times of 4:59 and 10:46. Her senior year was incredible. She was undefeated in every track race she competed in and was awarded the Bob Fowler Award for breaking the state record in the mile and 2 mile, the Al Wooden Award for the best performance across all classifications at the state meet, and the Lori Crenshaw Award for scoring the most points at the girls' state track meet, and the Barbara Burton Award for the most outstanding female track athlete in the state of Georgia. Ashley was also a member of the National Honor Society, and she received the St. Pius Citizenship Award for outstanding and ethical leadership. Her class voted her the most outstanding female athlete of 1998. After earning a scholarship to the University of Alabama, Ashley had a standout collegiate career, earning all SEC honors 10 times. She was named SEC Cross Country Freshman of the Year. She competed in the World Cross Country Championship in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and helped Team USA finish 7th among the best runners in the world. Ashley was named the University of Alabama Cross Country MVP and earned a spot on the All-District University Cross Country team for 3 consecutive years. Ashley spent 12 years as a nurse, becoming a board-certified medical surgical nurse. She also started Kilometer Kids running program at King Springs Elementary School in Smyrna. And we are truly honored to induct Ashley into the St. Pius Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much to everyone who helped make today possible. My parents, my coaches, Coach Gilbo, and my father, Bruce Lavetti. And of course, our longtime athletic director, Mark Kelly. I'm so honored and humbled to be here. You know, St. Pius has always been so much more than a school to my family and me. It's a community, it's a family. It is a place of profound transformation, yes, it did prepare me very well for college and for my career as a nurse. But I think its most powerful gift was helping to shape my character by showing me how to live by the golden rule, how to trust in my faith, and how to be there for others. My running career here was frankly a series of trials and tribulations. It seemed like almost every season brought on some sort of crazy injury, whether it was suddenly out of the blue being diagnosed with exercise-induced asthma and finding out I was allergic to every single thing that they tested me for, or having some sort of nagging leg injury that just wouldn't heal. No matter what the intense obstacle, I always felt the unwavering love and support from my St. Pius community, and that support truly carried me. The support from St. Pius, but also the support from my parents. I had so many ups and downs, and they were there for it all. My dad introduced me to the sport of running when I was 6 years old. He was my coach from the very beginning, and he was my biggest fan. He spent hundreds of hours taking me to different doctor's appointments, to different races. I remember the springtime and the pollen was so horrible. I would have so much difficulty breathing. And he would take me sometimes to different tracks at 10 o'clock at night because the pollen wasn't so bad. We would do track workouts then. He would pick me up and take me back to where he worked at Georgia State, and I was doing these crazy interval workouts on the treadmill. It just goes on and on. I will always be so grateful for him. I'm so grateful for my parents, but also for St. Pius. Whether I was winning or struggling, the love and prayers from my St. Pius family never faltered. And that is part of what makes this school so exceptional. To be inducted into the first Athletic Hall of Fame class from this amazing school is such a delight. And I accept with a full heart. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Nick Rogers, class of 1997. Nick is the second of the three amazing Rogers siblings being inducted into the Hall of Fame today. At St. Pius, Nick had a stellar high school career, playing both running back and linebacker in football and competing in the discus. He was recognized by the DeKalb Touchdown Club for outstanding play during the 1996 season, and in 1997 he set a new record for St. Pius in the discus at 155 feet 7 inches. Nick chose Georgia Tech over several other offers, and he didn't see much playing time in the field on his first 2 years with the Jackets, redshirting in 97 and playing on special teams in 98. However, in the 1999 season, he played both defensive end and linebacker for the Tech defense. That season set the stage for his huge junior and senior years when he started as the opposite defensive end from teammate Greg Akers, as the pair formed one of the most dynamic pass-rushing duos in Georgia Tech program history. In 2000, Nick racked up 62 tackles, 9 sacks, and 6 forced fumbles, and follows that up in 2001 with 64 tackles and 6 sacks. He was named second team All-ACC both of the final 2 years. Nick finished his Yellow Jacket career with 16.5 sacks, which was top 10 in program history for many, many years. He went on to be selected in the 6th round of the 2002 NFL Draft by the Minnesota Vikings. Now playing linebacker, he spent 2 seasons in Minnesota, playing for both, and then before playing for both Green Bay and the Indianapolis Colts. And he finished out his NFL career with the Miami Dolphins in 2005. Nick tragically passed away in 2010 when he was involved in a single vehicle car accident. St. Pius created an athletic award in Nick's honor, naming it the Nick Rogers Award. given every year at the football banquet honoring the young man who best exemplifies the determination, perseverance, and most importantly, the ability to turn life's obstacles into opportunities. Accepting the Hall of Fame honor on his behalf is his father, Frederick Rogers.
Good morning. Just a moment. On behalf of my son, Nicholas, and our amazing family, if Nick were here, I know that he would acknowledge his mom, Teresa. He would acknowledge his Aunt Mary, who helped in his early development, his brother Philip, Sister Dana, LaShonda, Eric, our grandchildren. I'm a little slow, guys. Elena, PJ, Philip Jr., and Olivia. I am honored to accept this induction into St. Pius Football Hall of Fame for Nicholas. Nicholas' story is not one of easy success. I think of one thing that sticks with me most is at points when your children are about to step out and you are leery on whether they are ready. And I remember one situation here where Philip had graduated and Nick was the passenger with Philip. We had to come from East Point every morning and travel. So Philip graduated, and so fortunately Teresa worked close by at CDC, and she would drive the children here. But it came to a point where Nick needed to start driving. He was reluctant to do so, and his thought that, well, Philip can come from Georgia Tech and drop us off. He said, no, you have to. And he got his license. And so one evening, he and David DeRoki, after football practice, I made the decision. It's time for you. It's just like the bird, mother bird, father bird kicking the baby out to fly. I got in the back seat. Here's the key. I laid down. I really laid down in the back seat. You drive home. And he did well. And at points, you just have to let them fly. You have to cut the rope and let them go. So that's why I say the story of Nick is not an easy success. It is one of perseverance and faith. He was not highly recruited and was the last player offered a college scholarship at Georgia Tech, but he never saw himself as second tier. Instead, he saw a challenge, and he rose to meet it. He began his career at Georgia Tech as an undersized practice squad running back. And he played running back at Georgia Tech because he was following in his brother's footsteps. And but after getting to Georgia Tech, through his determination, his intensity grew, and his physicality developed, and his leadership emerged. And I'm not going to repeat his accolades that has already been noted, but he excelled at Georgia Tech, and he was one of the top defensive ends to play at Georgia Tech. One thing here at St. Pius, academics were not easy for him. However, he worked incredibly hard to make average grades. Yet at Georgia Tech, one of the toughest academic schools in the country, he made honor roll and graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Business Business Management. He didn't break records at St. Pius, but what he did here was far greater. He built his character. His determination, perseverance, and humble spirit were nurtured right here in this community. And during his time here, God placed a guardian in his life, Miss Gloria Jamison, who protected, guided, and believed in him. So she too has passed, and I know she is smiling down with pride this morning. My son went on with his dreams, as you have heard, to play with the NFL. As it says in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This is how Nicholas lived his life. To the coaches, teammates, teachers, and classmates, thank you. I want to thank Father Drummer, our priest at St. Anthony Catholic School, for attending this morning. I would say all of you were not just a part of Nick's story. You helped shape it. On behalf of our family, we are forever grateful. Thank you, and God bless you.
Our next inductee is Jan Potteres-O'Donnell, class of 1998. Jan's legacy at St. Pius began on the softball field. She was a 4-year varsity player, and her sophomore year led the Golden Lions to a state championship. In 1995, the school's first ever season of fast-pitch softball. As a pitcher, she had a 26-2 record and an ERA of .68. She had 140 strikeouts and 140 innings pitched. Coach Mike Sirocco compared her to the Atlanta Braves pitcher Greg Maddux, stating, "She's an intelligent pitcher and she's very tenacious." Her breakout sophomore year was then followed by 2 consecutive region titles. Jan was the team captain her senior year, and her outstanding performance earned her recognition as an AJC Player of the Week and first team All-State selection. After St. Pius, Jan attended the University of Tennessee, earning both a bachelor's and a master's degree. Since 2004, she has served at Blessed Trinity High School as a teacher, assistant athletic director, and coach. As head softball coach, she has been named State Coach of the Year and Region Coach of the Year, and she's led her teams to a state championship, 3 region titles, a Final Four appearance, and multiple Elite 8 finishes. Jan has remained deeply committed to her faith and her community. She coaches youth lacrosse and is an active member of St. Peter's Sunel Catholic Church. Jan's family has a long, outstanding history with St. Pius. Her dad, John, worked here for nearly 20 years. Her brother, Jason, worked here for 5 years. Her sister, Joni, is a fellow alum, and her late mother, Joanne, was an invaluable member of the St. Pius community, serving us in so many ways. They are all here, part of the St. Pius family. Jan represents everything we strive to honor with this recognition: excellence, leadership, and a life lived in service to others. It is with great pride that we welcome her into the St. Pius Hall of Fame.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so grateful for this honor. When Mr. Spellman called me to let me know, I was shocked and so humbled, and this event has been absolutely amazing. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee. I know how many outstanding athletes have gone through St. Pius, so to stand up here today is quite an honor for me. I would especially like to thank Coach Kelly. I think that he is just an amazing athletic director, always giving his time to every sport. I know that when we held the state championship trophy over our heads in Columbus, Georgia, Coach Kelly was there to cheer us all on. I've always appreciated his support. My coaches, Coach Shirago and Coach Whalen, were just amazing role models, and we had just a great experience with them. I'd like to congratulate all of you inductees here today. As you can tell from everything that has been read and said by everyone, this is a tremendous group of people. I was honored to be in the stands for several of you as you competed, and just to see you back today is just awesome. I'd especially like to congratulate my friend, my teammate, Beth Spack. We have quite the shared history, winning a state championship here at St. Pius, and also winning a state championship as coaches at Blessed Trinity. Congratulations, Beth. To my husband and my 3 daughters, thank you for your continued support always. Thank you for listening to me talk about softball all the time. Somehow I ended up with 3 daughters, but 0 softball players. They are all lacrosse players. I wouldn't have it any other way. Finally, I'd like to thank my parents, especially my dad, for all the sacrifices that he made to send me here to St. Pius. I will forever be grateful for this community here. I always loved walking into school every day, knowing my friends were here, knowing my teachers were here, knowing my coaches were here, and I know that the experience here led me to where I am today, which is at Blessed Trinity. I'd also like to thank my mom, who could not be here today. I know she is smiling down from heaven, but she was always and will always be my biggest fan. Thank you, everyone. This is quite an honor.
Our next inductee is the last, but certainly not the least of the Rogers siblings, Dana Newby from the class of 2001. At St. Pius, Dana was a multi-sport athlete participating in basketball and track and field. She was a 2-time team captain for track and field, leading the team to a region title and state runner-up in 2000. Dana was nationally ranked in both the long jump and the 100-meter hurdles as a high school senior. She finished 2nd in the long jump and 5th in the hurdles in the United States Track and Field Junior Nationals. She was a 5-time Georgia state champion, winning the long jump as a sophomore, junior, and senior, the 100-meter hurdles crown as a junior, and the triple jump as a senior. Dana set 7 school records at St. Pius and still holds 3 of them today, 25 years later. The long jump, the triple jump, and the 100-meter high hurdles. Former athletic director Mark Kelly remembers Dana as a quiet person who spoke with her running. She led through action and was why she was a 2-year captain. After St. Pius, Dana attended Georgia Tech, where she continued to excel. During her time at Tech, she set school records in the 4x1 meter relay, 4x4 relay, and the 4x2 relay, and she received All-American honors in 2005 for her times in the indoor 60-meter hurdles and the outdoor 4x1 meter relay. She was an ACC indoor track and field champion in 2002 and a member of the All-ACC track and field team 4 years in a row. Dana graduated from Georgia Tech with a Bachelor of Science degree and has had a very successful career in commercial real estate. She is also a community volunteer with Open Hands Atlanta, Atlanta Food Bank, and Meals on Wheels. We are honored to induct Dana into the St. Pius Hall of Fame.
Good morning. Standing here today is such an honor. As I think back on how I arrived at this special moment, I'm reminded of all the people who shaped my journey. Those of you who have walked beside me, encouraged me, and shared in the joy of every moment. I'm deeply grateful for the love, support, and guidance I've received along the way. Being inducted in the St. Pius Hall of Fame isn't just a personal honor. It's a reflection on all the people who played a part in my story, and for that, I'm so very grateful. When Coach Kelly called me back in the spring to let me know I'd been nominated into the Hall of Fame, the first thing I thought about was my parents. This moment, more than anything, is a reflection of their love, their faith, and their countless sacrifices along the way. They poured into me and my brothers without ever knowing how it would all turn out. And their faith in God was stronger than any fear and doubt. We've all heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, and that is so true. It takes people who believe in you, challenge you, and lift you up. Mom and Dad, thank you for being the foundation of my village. Thank you for the early morning check-ins before the 4x1. Thank you for the late night pickups after the 4x4, the last event at Tractor Field. Thank you, and everything in between. You supported me through every finish line and every hurdle. Now as a parent myself, I have an even deeper appreciation for that kind of love. I've learned it takes more than commitment. It takes faith, patience, and a lot of coffee. Thank you for being my North Star and showing me what selfless love truly looks like. When I think about where it all started, one phrase immediately comes to mind. Come on, Dana, you can do it. Those were words of my very first coach, Doc Sessions. He was my diving coach when I was about 10 or 11 years old. He said that phrase so many times and in so many different tones that I could eventually predict just about every look on his face. I could predict when he was going to say it. What I didn't realize back then was that Doc was planting a seed in me, the belief that I could do whatever was in front of me. And I'm so very grateful to have crossed paths with him. He shaped not only my confidence, but also my mindset, which I've carried with me throughout my life. To my brothers, Phil and Nick, thank you for believing in me long before I believed in myself. A little known fact, a story I love to tell, my freshman dorm at Tech was directly below Nick's. Still to this day, I'm not sure whether it was a conspiracy between Tech and student housing, or maybe both. I'm not sure. But I do believe that it was meant to be. Having him one floor above me meant I had built-in support, guidance, lots of guidance, and the occasional 1 a.m. bass drop. Hearing his music reminded me that he was there and that he was close by, and I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. I still think of Nick as being just one floor above me, blasting his music, but only now he's doing it in heaven. Lastly, to my teammates, teachers, and coaches at St. Pius, thank you for pushing me, challenging me, and believing in me. Your support shaped not only the athlete I became, but the person I am today. Even though this honor carries my name on it, it truly belongs to my village. Thank you all for the support, your belief, and all the love you've shown along the way. Thank you.
Next inductee is Griffin Bennett, class of 2005. At St. Pius, Griffin was a multi-sport athlete, playing both varsity football and varsity baseball, and was captain for both teams. As a quarterback, Griffin threw for 2 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons and was named to the DeKalb County Touchdown Club. He still holds the record for the singles game passing record, pass completions, and pass attempts. Coach Standard used to say, people do not believe that I ever coached a quarterback that threw 1,000 yards more for 2 years in a row. However, his baseball was his main sport. After playing for the Golden Lions, he played 4 years at Georgia Southern. His junior year, he had 12 home runs, 65 RBIs in 57 games, and was named second team All-Southern Conference. As a senior, he had 14 home runs, scored 67 runs, and drove in 65 RBIs in 58 games. He was named first team All-American in 2009. After graduating from Georgia Southern, Griffin continued his baseball career in the San Diego Padres organization, playing for several of their affiliates, including the Class A Eugene Emeralds, Class A Fort Wayne Tin Caps, and Class AAA Portland Beavers. After his playing career, Griffin transitioned into coaching. He spent 10 years with the San Diego Padres as a bullpen catcher, where he gradually expanded his role to include advanced scouting and player instruction. In 2001, he joined the Iowa Cubs, the AAA affiliate of the Chicago Cubs, as a bench coach, where he once again contributed in multiple areas of player development and game prep. In 2023, the Miami Marlins brought him on as their quality assurance coach, and when the team's third base coach suffered a mild season injury, Griffin stepped into that role and retained that position for the 2024 season. We are proud to induct Griffin into the Athletic Hall of Fame.
It is very humbling seeing everyone here and hearing all of their accomplishments. It's especially humbling for me with Beth and Jan and the Spellmans and my dad being here, knowing I'm the 15th best baseball player in the gym today. But I think it's a great honor to be a part of St. Pius and be a part of their athletic institution and be a student athlete here. From my family to Michael's, I want to thank you for your service today. I'm proud to be mentioned next to all of you. Thank you, Jonathan, for mentioning the head injuries. You're not the only one. I think there's a lot of us that we're going to see. But for me, St. Pius would not be the same without the leadership and vision of Mr. Spellman. I thank you for that. For me personally, and I'll speak for the class of 2005, St. Pius would not be what it is today without Carrie Stockard. And she taught us how to think and read and speak and write in 2 different languages. So, Monsignor Lopez, Father Lopez, the thousands of students that he brought God into our hearts and into our lives, we are all forever thankful. And for me personally, Coach Standard taught me countless lessons about how to be tough, the love he showed all of us, and all the lessons that we learned grinding out around the football field, doing it as a team, and doing it for St. Pius. I'm happy to be here. I'm proud to be remembered for this, and St. Pius will always have a very special place in my heart. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Aaron Parr, class of 2006. A record-setting high school basketball player, St. Pius head basketball coach for 13 years, a former history teacher, former director of enrollment, and now the president of the school. Aaron was a starter on the varsity basketball team for 4 years here. In 2006, he led the team to a school record number of wins in the program's second region championship. He earned all-state honors in both 2005 and 2006, and his senior year was also named to the All-Metro and All-DeKalb County team. He still holds the school records for career points. After St. Pius, Aaron played basketball at Birmingham Southern College. He made the basketball first team all-conference in 2009, 2010, and in 2010 won the Bill Birch Award, the most inspirational athletic. Parr returned to St. Pius in 2011 as a 23-year-old and no head coaching experience. He built one of the most successful runs in school history, including 8 straight region championships, reaching 4 Final Fours, finishing a state runner-up twice, and setting a school record for career wins at 303-87. Under his leadership, 17 players went on to play college basketball. During an interview with the Georgia Bulletin, he was asked, before your players leave your program, what are some of the things that you try to impart beyond the court? Aaron's response was, the biggest thing I try to do is to instill in them how to work together as a team for something bigger than yourself. Also, I try to instill mental toughness in them, a concept called pounding the rock, almost every day. It means that each day your habits and work will be consistent. I think that relates to life, and above all, I want these young men to become consistent in being hardworking, great husbands and fathers. Aaron, we're proud of your hard work and thrilled that you've been inducted into this Hall of Fame.
Good morning. First, just want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for putting this special event together. It's truly a special place, St. Pius, and it's an honor. It's a place that developed me academically, athletically, but most importantly, developed me spiritually. So many great memories playing and coaching here. Actually, one of my first games ever coaching here, Janelle Spearman, who's being inducted, was a referee at our game. And then obviously before he made it big, and that was pretty fun. But the best part was the relationships. The relationships formed with my teammates, just with my coaches. So many amazing relationships. One of my teammates was the best man at my wedding. I want to thank my high school coach, Coach Kevin Carroll, for all the life lessons he instilled in us. Probably my favorite basketball memory had nothing to do with basketball, but he took us all our senior year to this place called Whitewater Express to go whitewater rafting on the Ocoee River, staying in cabins. We had no idea why, but we ended up having the best time, and we still talk about that more than the wins and the losses. I want to thank my wife, Katie, who's here today. I met her at Pius, and our 3 daughters are here today. Like some of you also, I'm not sure they quite know what this is, but I'm really happy that they get to share this moment with me. Actually, funny story, Katie, my wife, she was on the girls basketball team here, and when I was told her I was going to the Hall of Fame, she was confused because she likes to remind me that she won 2 state championships here on the girls basketball team, and I did not win any. But the main reason for that is because of the person coming up after me, which is Kelly King. That's just a funny story I wanted to share. And then I want to thank also my parents, my mom. You rarely missed any of my games. You traveled to a lot of my college games out of state, and it was always a calming presence when I saw you there. And then to my dad. My dad passed away when I was in high school, but he was my first coach, my biggest fan, and gave me I think the greatest lesson you can give, or the greatest gift a parent can give their child, which is that he believed in me. So in closing, I just want to thank everyone who's here being inducted today. It's such an honor to share this morning with you. Also, just want to say to the Rogers family, who has 3 kids being inducted, I do work at St. Pius. All of your grandchildren receive full scholarships automatically. Obviously, they've got some incredible genes. And I just want to thank 3 people that had a great influence on me here, Steve Spellman, Mark Kelly, and Father Lopez. I think they just did so much to shape this school. So thank you all, and really appreciate this honor. Thank you.
Our next inductee is Antonio McKay, class of 2007. Antonio McKay Jr. ran track at St. Pius. His junior year, he led the Golden Lions men's track team to their first of now 5 state championships. What makes that remarkable is that when Antonio came to St. Pius as a junior, he had not run competitive track before, despite being the son of Antonio McKay, an Olympic champion sprinter. Antonio's junior year, he ran his season and Georgia's statewide best in the 400 meter at 47.87 seconds, good for 19th fastest in the country. And in November of his senior year, he followed his dad Antonio in signing on to compete at Georgia Tech. But before his stellar career at Tech, his senior year at Pius was remarkable. Antonio would set not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 school records that still stand today. First, a blistering 10.62 seconds in the 100-meter sprint, but it was his 400 meters that proved to be Antonio's sweet spot. He would take more than a second off his already best junior time, running 46.28, a number you can still see on the board today down at Malou Stadium, in a time that would have won the state title this past year in all 6 classifications. Antonio would then team up to set both 800 and 1600 meter sprint medley records, the latter with fellow Hall of Famer Kevin Cohn. At Georgia Tech, he would win no less than 7 times in both the 200 and 400 meter races, including a 200 meter time of 21.42 seconds, which is the 5th fastest in Yellow Jacket history. Antonio was a 4-year medal winner at Georgia Tech and was named Most Valuable Track Athlete in 2010 and 2011. He is one of 17 track and field athletes at St. Pius to have won the Lion Legends Award. Antonio is still very active is still a very active athlete who coaches running in the Atlanta community. We are honored to welcome Antonio to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you all for coming. To start off with, coming and looking in this room, I see the big thing about St. Pius, which is a community. Everybody's here supporting each other. So many amazing accomplishments and accolades that I've heard before. I'm gonna keep this very brief. Our race is 46 seconds, and it was all about preparation for it. It wasn't me, it was my family, it was my mother, my father, who was a push. If you ever met him, he was very forward driven on what was next. My mother was that piece behind it. I can't imagine how many times waking up early to cook for us, to take us to track meets. There's 4 of us in the house, so we all went to every single sporting event. That support, I just appreciate it. I look over there now, I have my niece here, and I always think about the next generation. It's always about just staying patient. My race was always about speed, getting there as fast as you can. The older I get, the more I realize it's just enjoying the moment as well. And coming here, seeing these faces, I appreciate it. Thank you to St. Pius, and you've been amazing so far. Like, you got me here, because you know I didn't want to talk in the first place. But I appreciate it, and I hope that we take this time and recognize what we have done as well. So, thank you all.
Our next athlete, come on, Kenneth, is Kent Cleveland from the class of 2008. At St. Pius, Kent was an all-state football player, offensive tackle to be specific, as well as varsity football captain. He helped lead the Golden Lions to back-to-back state playoff runs and a final ranking of number 4 his junior season. Coach Paul Standard had this to say about Kent. Kent Cleveland was not only an outstanding player, but a better young man. I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity to coach Kent. He overcame a significant hip injury early in his career, but came back and was the leader of our offensive line for 2 consecutive playoff runs in 2006 and 2007, where the Golden Lions had an outstanding rushing attack. Kent will be remembered for his caring for the younger players and is a great teammate to all. He's not only one of the best offensive linemen, he's one of the best offensive linemen in Golden Lion history. While at St. Pius, Kent also competed in track and was a Lion leader and an officer on senior council. At Kent State, he started on the O-line for 3 years. His senior year, the team had the best record in school history, 11-3, won the MAC East title, was nationally ranked in the top 25 at the end of the regular season, and went to the GoDaddy Bowl. His Kent State coach said this about Kent. What's truly amazing about him is his deep desire to make people around him better. An example of his unselfishness occurred midway through his junior season when he was asked to make a position change, which for many is very difficult mentally. But without hesitation, Kent's quick response was, "Whatever I have to do to make us better." That position change is known as the switch and is credited as being the impetus to a string of wins that resulted in Kent State winning the MAC East title. We're very excited to welcome Kent today in your Athletic Hall of Fame.
Start by thanking whoever just switched me to be in front of Kelly Kane and not behind her, because that was going to be a bad spot to be. Thanks to everybody at St. Pius. This is a special place, mainly due to the people, starting with you, Mr. Spellman. You've done a lot for this whole community. Mr. Kelly as well, and Paula Lopez. Also, Coach Standard, going in with you is pretty cool. You did a lot for me, everybody that played here. You instilled toughness and accountability in everybody. Coach Carter, 9th grade football, best pregame speaker I've ever had. Some legendary things there. But like everybody else has said, this is a team accomplishment. And start with my parents. Most families like, hey, St. Pius or Marist. My brothers both went to Marist. I'm the middle one, so when I started here, I was in 9th grade. My brother was a junior at Marist. My little brother was a 7th grader at Marist. Logistically, I was the problem. My parents could have easily forced me, like, hey, you really need to go to Marist, but
they saw like, hey, this was a better place for me. My friends were coming here and let me flourish here. So appreciate that. My brothers, playing you in sports in high school was fun. Playing you in sports in the front yard, even better. A lot of Oklahoma drills while my dad and his buddies sat there and watched. It was pretty fun. Ross Doling's here too. He took part in some of the beatings as well. And then to wrap it up, like the coolest part of this, my wife is a star athlete. She's in our high school Hall of Fame and our college one. Taking my two daughters to all of her Hall of Fames. I think today's the first day my kids actually think, oh, Dad played sports too. So I finally get to put something in my man cave that's covered with my wife's accomplishments. So thanks everybody, and congrats everybody going in today.
Our next inductee is Kelly Kane, a 2007 graduate, a high school, collegiate, and professional basketball standout. During Kelly's 4 years at St. Pius, he led the girls basketball team to 4 region titles and 3 state championships in 4 years. Kelly got hurt the 1 year. That's the reason why we didn't win the state championship that year, because the team we had beaten by 27 points earlier won the state. So we remember that vividly. But the 2004 state championship was the first for girls basketball program, and in that game, as a freshman, Kelly recorded a triple-double of 21 points, 15 rebounds, and 11 block shots. In 2006 and 2007, the team beat Marist for the state championship. Dear to all our hearts. Kelly was recognized by Parade, Nike, USA Today, the WBCA, and McDonald's as an All-American. During her career, Kelly held about every statistical school record imaginable by leading the program to an amazing record of 119 wins, 11 losses, averaging 20 points a game. Kelly was also a multi-year honor roll student, a 3-year member of the homecoming court, and most likely to become famous by her class. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution and Coach Dunn described Kelly as a personification of grace and class and a great representative of St. Pius. She went on to play for the legendary coach Pat Summit at the University of Tennessee. When Pat Summit came on that day, the recruiting day, it was the first day of recruiting, it was open. And Pat Summit came into the building. I had bought Pat Summit's book, Reach for the Summit. So I went out and introduced myself and started talking. She came into my office, sat down. We talked about the book, what I liked about the book, just unbelievably gracious. And then she said, Steve, today is the opening day of recruiting. I could be any place in the United States, but I'm here at St. Pius. I want Kelly Kane. And I said, good luck. But that's what and that reward was the 2008 National Championship at Tennessee. She was a 3-time SEC tournament champion, an all-ACC and all-defensive SEC and all-defensive team honoree, while earning a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. She was drafted 7th overall in the 2012 Women's NBA Draft by the New York Liberty. Kelly enjoyed a decade-long professional career competing in Turkey, Italy, Poland, South Korea, China, and Ukraine before retiring in 2022. Transitioning into coaching, she completed a master's in sport management from the University of Florida. Kelly is currently an assistant basketball coach at the Webb School in Knoxville, Tennessee, where she has helped lead the Lady Spartans to its Tennessee State Championship for the last 2 years. Beyond athletics, Kelly is actively involved in her community as a member of the City Hills Church, serves on the board of 110 Ministries, and is a proud member of the University of Tennessee's Letterman Tea Club. It goes without saying, we're proud to induct Kelly into the St. Pius Hall of Fame.
All right. I'll make this quick. I have entirely too many people who truly deserve recognition today, and I definitely don't have enough time. But I would like to start off by thanking my friends and family who are here today for their continuous love and support over the years. I also want to thank my dad for instilling in me my competitive spirit, my love of sports, and my height. He's the reason I started playing basketball, and he was actually my first coach. My Pius journey started with a 4-to-1 family vote for me not to come here. The one person who was for me coming here was my mom. I praise God every day for her discernment because she clearly saw then what we all see, or how we all see Pius now. That is a safe space spearheaded by Mr. Spellman, Mr. Mark Kelly, and Coach Stephanie Dunn that provided love, support, faith, and a great education. As Dana previously said, it takes a village to raise a child, and I'm truly grateful that Pius was and is forever a part of my village. Thank you.
Chuck Bird is the first of our 3 coaching inductees and legends really to be inducted today. Chuck was at St. Pius for 40 years, serving as a counselor for all 40 years, as well as the director of admissions for 17, assistant basketball coach for 21, and boys tennis coach for 35 years. Arguably, he is the best tennis coach in St. Pius history, as his teams accomplished 15 state Final Fours, 12 state finalists, 8 state runner-ups, and 4 state championships. And he was recognized as the state of Georgia's high school coach of the year 4 times. All this tennis success might make you think that Chuck was a tremendous tennis player growing up. Nope. He was an outstanding high school and college basketball player whose claim to fame was making over 90% of his free throws. When Chuck started the boys tennis program in 1974, he knew very little about tennis. On the first day of tryouts, he showed up in blue jean shorts with aluminum, probably more than likely a wooden racket. Chuck says he can still hear the laughter from the guys he was hired to coach. But one of Chuck's fondest memories is coaching multiple generations. Scott Jones was on his very first tennis team in 1974, and Parker, his son, was on the last one in 2014 in his last year. A decade after winning his last state championship, that boys tennis team defeated Woodward Academy, sending Coach Bird off to retirement with a state title. I thought it was fitting to remind some of us some of the sayings that Chuck is famous for. If you don't like sweat, find another sport. God's favorite sport is tennis, and St. Pius is his favorite team. I never let facts get in the way of a good story, and it's far more important that our opponents remember our class in sportsmanship than forehand volleys. Chuck, for many years of your leadership, commitment to our tennis program, this school, and that sportsmanship that we all honor and respect with you to induct you into the St. Pius Tennis Hall of Fame.
I'm so anxious, I don't know where to begin. For the past 2 days, I've been sweating, I've been anxious, I've been dreading this moment because I thought, how do you follow this? But when I look around and, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with the people who are here. I'm overwhelmed with the opportunity that I had to work here for 40 years. I just can't believe my good fortune. And, just to step back in time, Lynn and I moved to Atlanta to go to graduate school, not knowing a soul in Atlanta. And our intent was to move internationally and to live internationally and to see the world. But while I was finishing graduate school, Lynn got a job at Immaculate Heart as a teacher there. And we graduated and started sending out our resumes. And we really wanted to go to Florida. And we got a job offer in the Keys. And we were packing our gear, ready to head for the Keys, when she said, Chuck, I was in the faculty lounge at Immaculate Heart, and I saw they have an opening for a counselor next year. Why don't you go talk to Father Sexton? And I thought, well, okay. Well, 30 minutes later, after meeting with him, I came out, I gotta go to that school. We're staying here for a little while longer. A little while longer was 40 years here. And we abandoned our plans to move to the Keys. We put our scuba gear away. And what a ride it's been. I mean, I can't imagine having had a more wonderful work life, to get up every day and come here. I was so excited every day to get up and come to St. Pius. And what? It's about you. It's about the relationships. It's about the spirit. It's about the support, the caring, the love. Just overwhelmed. What could be when your job is your hobby and you get to spend that long doing it, you think God has blessed you. But everybody here who's come before me is here because of a support system that they have. And that support system for almost all of us begins with family. And the family who was behind us, encouraged us, pushed us, consoled us when things weren't going well. And certainly for me, my wife Lynn, I can't imagine being married for 56 years, but we have been, and we just enjoy, love, and are thankful for every day. And for my children and grandchildren, what a blessing you have been for me. Coaches spend a lot of time away from home. They spend a lot of time late at night. They spend a lot of time that probably we wish we could have spent more with you, but you're my rock. I can't thank you enough for what you've done and how you've supported me. When I look at St. Pius, I think, what a wonderful, wonderful institution. What a blessing to have been here for so long. And the two people who have been cited many times before and who have made it so great are our wonderful principal, Steve Spellman, and our outstanding athletic director, Mark Kelly. You have really shaped and molded this school, and we all are extremely thankful for that. But as a coach, I think what we know, what every one of you knows, our success is dependent on the athletes that we get. I wouldn't be standing here receiving this honor if it weren't for the extremely talented, motivated athletes like Kerry Franklin who came my way. And the families that supported them, sacrificed for them, and supported me. We just owe so much to so many. But the speech that I had is thrown away. I'm sort of speaking off the cuff now. But I just want to thank you for all you've meant to me and to these athletes who are being recognized. And I hope that this school is going to be the St. Pius that I've always known for many, many more years to come. And God, thank you for bringing me here back in 1974 and having me receive this honor and be here before you today. So thank you very much.
Our next honoree is Coach Scott Carter. Growing up in New York, Coach Carter lived and breathed sports from a young age, playing both lacrosse and football, and having great success in both sports, serving as captains of both teams and earning all state honors in both. After high school, he attended Auburn University, where he played lacrosse, and success continued there as he was inducted into the Southeastern Conference Lacrosse Hall of Fame. Scott came to St. Pius to teach social studies 26 years ago, and he currently serves as the head coach for the swim and dive team, but his commitment to excellence has been evident by all his contributions to the schools over the year. He coached football for 10 years, and he was selected to be the first lacrosse head coach, a position that he held for 13 years. During his 26 years as a swim coach, the swim teams have had amazing success, producing many All-State, All-Americans, and many continuing their swimming careers at major universities, and two-time gold medal winning Olympics. His team has won 5 state championships, 5 state runner-ups, and Scott has been named Coach of the Year several times and honored as National Coach of the Year. Coaching both boys and girls lacrosse teams, he's produced winning seasons every year for both teams, making it to the semifinals 3 times and recognized Coach of the Year several times, and the Georgia Coach of the Year, and his commitment to St. Pius and other teams, such as the Northside Youth Lacrosse, Thunder Lacrosse, he was awarded the U.S. Lacrosse Man of the Year. Coach Scott Carter will be remembered for all his passion, dedication, and commitment to excellence for this school, our athletes, and the entire St. Pius family. It's a privilege to honor Coach Carter with the St. Pius X Hall of Fame, especially today, as today is his birthday.
Well, I'm not really much of a public speaker, so I'm going to try to keep this brief. I thought I would never see a day where I would be at a St. Pius athletic event and Mark Kelly wouldn't be on top of me about something, you know. Still there, I guess. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be in this pantheon of all these amazing athletes. I'll never forget, in the spring of 1999, I was at Centennial High School and I got a phone call from Mark Kelly to offer me a job here at St. Pius, which, considering that I was offered the job by the athletic director, probably said a lot about my trajectory as an employee here at St. Pius. It wasn't the principal, it was the AD. And he said, all right, we're gonna hire you to coach football, and what do you want your other sport to be? You have a choice between track and swimming and diving. And I said, well, I don't know anything about track, and that's during lacrosse season, so I'll go with swimming and diving, because I know a little bit about that. And the fact that Mark Kelly, you know, offered me that job, I always tell this story. For me, I didn't know anything about St. Pius. You know, people always ask me, when did you graduate from St. Pius? And I'm like, that's the greatest honor you could possibly imagine. But I didn't know anything about St. Pius, and it was a job. And when people would ask me back in 1999, 2000, they'd say, well, where do you think you're going to be in 5 years? And without a doubt, I would always say, I'll be back in New York. I'll be hanging out at the Galleria Mall, and there's only a few people who understand that, and one of them is Kelly Kane. Where's Kelly? You know what I'm talking about. And it's now my 27th year at St. Pius. And I think that says everything about this place. I have now been at St. Pius for longer than I ever lived in New York. And for me, New York will always be home. But forever, home will always be St. Pius. I'd like to take this minute to thank a lot of people, so if you'll bear with me, I'd like to thank first and foremost my family. I'd like to thank my sister who's here, who was an All-American swimmer in high school, and she makes fun of the fact that the sport that in college, that she was an All-American in, I've won state championships in. She's always been there for me, supporting me. I'd like to thank my dad, who is no longer with us, but my dad always supported me in everything I did, even though the man had never seen a lacrosse stick before in his life. And then I'd like to thank my mom, who's here, because my mom, like everybody else's mom, without her, I'm not standing up here, because otherwise I don't get to practice. I don't get anywhere. The support, the love, the tears, and everything, Ma, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me, my entire life, to why I'm standing up here. I'd like to thank my high school and college coaches. Most importantly, I'd like to thank Coach Rick Wall. I'd like to thank Coach Caputo, who would have been sitting here today, except for we lost him last spring. He was my high school football and lacrosse coach. I'd like to thank my college coach, Coach Rushton. I'd like to thank Father Lopez, who I did invite here today and unfortunately couldn't make it. I'd like to thank him for, just being Father Lopez and being a bit of a rock for me whenever I needed it. I'd like to thank Steve Spellman for probably bailing me out of trouble more than I ever want to know. And one day when I get to read his book, the chapter that's about me, I'll rip out and throw it away and burn it because I don't want anybody to know those things. I would like to thank Coach Kelly. I'd like to thank Coach Kelly for taking a chance on a degenerate like me. And without him, again, I don't stand up here, and I know that he also bailed me out of things. But more importantly, Coach Kelly was always an inspiration to me. Coach Kelly was always there for me. Coach Kelly was always there to back me up. And when my dad died, him and Mr. Spellman, were there for me in a way that nobody else can be there for another human being. And I thank the both of you for that very much. I'd like to thank all the coaches that have coached for me. And I shouldn't say for me, I should say with me. I always like to give a speech that, a good head coach surrounds himself with very capable and awesome people. And I was very surprised. I can't name all of them, but I'm very surprised and honored that one of them showed up today that I didn't know was coming. One that, without her, I would not be standing up here. There's no doubt. I would like to say thank you, especially to Coach Katie Stilson. And then I'd like to thank all the athletes. And again, as a big surprise, I had no idea there's some athletes that showed up today that I wasn't expecting. Abby Cohn, Sarah Shantz, Ian Grum, Dylan Joyner, and then, didn't even think about the fact that Casey Benedict was going to be here as well, all swimmers. Because without them, of course, I'm not up here. Haley Dermer, who's going to be inducted, Gunnar Bentz, Ricky Lewis, they're all going to be standing up here next fall. Without them, I'm not standing up here. And then to all the families that supported the programs, supported their athletes, supported me, those people are very, very special. I'd like to thank my kids. I can't tell you what the pride was like when my children, my daughter who's a senior, my son who's a freshman, first put on a St. Pius Golden Lions jersey, and to watch, them go out on the field and represent the Golden Lions for a place that, I've given everything to is one of the biggest prideful things as a father you can possibly imagine. They're carrying on that torch. Finally, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, my lacrosse, swimming, football widow. I did some rough math, and I'm not good at math, Katie can tell you. And between swimming and diving, boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, and football, my math came to 45 seasons. And through 45 seasons of coaching here at St. Pius, my beautiful wife, Sarah, has always been there. She's been in my corner. She was there when I would come home mad because we lost, or happy when we won, or she was asleep when I got home because it was 1 a.m. Without her, there's no way that I make it to where I am today. And to say something about, again, it's been 45 seasons, and I will say this, 45 and counting, and I'm not going anywhere, and I'm not going to stop. And I tell my students all the time, I'm like, look, what's going to happen is I'm going to die right here in this classroom when I'm teaching the kids, and just tell them, catapult me over the fence, just throw me over the fence, let me decompose right here on the grounds of St. Pius X High School, because this is where I belong. And when I say that I'm never gonna stop, it's because this is my family, and in my darkest times, in my happiest times, it's always been St. Pius X Catholic High School, and I will never stop, because you never, ever quit on your family. Go Lions.
Our next inductee in the Fall Hall of Fame is the all-time winningest coach in St. Pius history, Paul Stannard, class of 1980. Coach Stannard's relationship with St. Pius began in 1976 when he set foot on campus as a student. During his time as a Golden Lion, he was a 3-year letterman on the football team, excelling as both an offensive lineman and a defensive end under the guidance of legendary coach George B. Maloof. The Stannard name has become a familiar one around here, as Paul sent his 4 children to St. Pius, PG, Liz, Mary Kate, and Maggie. Coach Stannard is a proud 1984 graduate of the Citadel. He joined the United States Army Reserve, where he served honorably from 1984 to 1992. The discipline, leadership, and commitment to excellence instilled during his time at the Citadel has remained hallmarks of his coaching philosophy throughout his 40-year career. Coach Stander's time as head coach at St. Pius is nothing short of remarkable. His 174 wins are the most in school history, surpassing his mentor and dear friend, George Maloof. Many of his games were memorable, such as the 2003 game against Marist, beating them for the first time in 21 years and repeating that success many more times. In 2012 and 2014, his teams returned to the state championship for the first time since 1968. He led St. Pius to the playoffs 18 times, competed in 8 region championships. His teams were always ranked in the top 10 in the state, an impressive 11 times. Coach Stander's legacy is more than just about the numbers. It marks a time of tremendous success and growth of the St. Pius football program. Under his leadership, Paul became known across Georgia for its discipline, toughness, and heart. He didn't win just games. He built one of the most respected high school football programs in the state, but also strengthened the community around it. He will be remembered as a coach who emphasized relationship over wins and losses. We are proud to induct Coach Paul Stander in the St. Pius Hall of Fame.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Spellman. Scott, you are a tough act to follow. So I'm not even going to try to compete with that. And I only have 2 minutes, and I think I'm the last inductee. And so I'm going to get us out of here. But I do want to say, number one, thank you and congratulations to all of the inductees today. What a special, special group that is part of our great school community. I need to thank my parents because without them, I would not have come to St. Pius. I didn't want to come to St. Pius. I was the oldest. I wanted to go to the local high school where we were living in South DeKalb County, and my mom said, no, you're going to St. Pius. So we came to St. Pius, and I'm so happy. Mom is no longer with us, but she thought that when you do leave this world, if you don't go to heaven, you ended up at St. Pius. So I'm so thankful for that. My dad could not make it, but it was a great Golden Lion supporter. I want to thank our Hall of Fame committee for considering me for this honor. Very, very humble. Thank our president, Aaron Parr, our principal, Kristen Kramer, and our new athletic director, Joe McCurry. Thank you all for your leadership for our great school. I've got to thank Mr. Steve Stone and Mr. Mark Kelly, who took a chance on an inexperienced assistant coach from Gwinnett County to lead our program. Never been a head football coach before. I honestly think I might have been the only applicant for the job at the time. But I do appreciate and you have no idea how much respect and love I have for these two men. To be able to come back and to lead the program that my coach, Coach George Maloof, created, this was his baby, and I was just going to be the caretaker. And I hope that he is looking down and is happy with what we were able to accomplish. Any award that a coach receives, as Coach Chuck Bird and Coach Carter so eloquently shared, any coach award is due to a lot of other things and not the coach. And I was blessed to have these factors. Number one, an outstanding coaching staff. And I've got several of them in this room today. Some of them that I had no idea that were going to be here. Bob Gilbert, who was the first assistant that I hired, and if he hadn't come, I don't think I'd have taken the job. Chad Garrison, who was our head coach now, who was my Mr. Everything. Jerry Stewart, Ron Maynard, my son, PG Standard, Jay Wright, who's in the building. And I didn't know that Mike Lancaster, he may not still be here. Mike Lancaster is our head wrestling coach and varsity football coach. Now, I've been doing this for 41 years. Mike Lancaster coached me in Little League in 1971. So you can do the math on how old Mike Lancaster is. And he is still here on this staff, and what a blessing. So without these great men who are great husbands, great fathers, great role models, we would not have had the success that we were able to achieve and to influence the lives of so many young men and women. Secondly, you got to have great parent support. And the groups that were here that we either created or that were already in action, our Lion Pride alumni group, the dads, linebackers, and the moms huddle, their support was tremendous and instrumental to our success. Really the most important group, and there's several of you out here today, Scott, you said it, without the players, I'm nothing. And I was very blessed to have some outstanding young men come through our program. If you played for me and play for our program, would you please stand right now? If you're a Golden Line player from that era, let's give them a hand, please. Little Tom, you can play for me? There you go. Thank you very much. Very good. Without those, see, I don't miss too many things. Without those young men, and all the list is up, well, the list outside in the hallway, I'm just blessed. But those young men were unbelievable, and I love you, and the relationships that we have last forever. Got to thank the most important person, that's my wife. Cindy, without you, none of this would have happened. You are my everything, as Mrs. Carter and Mrs. Bird knows, and several other coaches' wives out here. Spent many a night sitting in a stadium all across this state. Many a night at home raising the kids, and I'm with somebody else's kids. But that was the life I chose. But without your support, never would this have been able to happen. I love you, and I thank you so much. Very proud of our children. As Steve said, they are alumni of this great institution, and I'm so proud. It's great to be able to, it might not have been great for them, but it was great for me, for me to be able to see them every day when they were in school. And I love you guys so much. Maybe one of the grandchildren, we got 5 and 2 more on the way, maybe they'll be able to walk the halls of St. Pius. I hope I get the chance to see that. It's been a great journey. For 20 years here at St. Pius, we've made friends and relationships that are still strong today and will be forever there. Some of the greatest memories, November 7, 2003, beating the school over on Ashford Dunwoody for the first time in 21 years was a great night. Our quarterback that was there that night is sitting here with us. Griffin, great job. What a special night. Going to Thomas County Central, Kent, and beating Thomas County, which I don't think they ever lost down there. What another great night. Beating Woodward Academy in the semifinals to go to the state championship after they beat us 44-14 earlier in the same year. The class or the team of 2017 will always be special. That was the team that started 0-5. We lost our 5th game in a row. We really were 2-14, believe it or not. We had gone 2-8 the year before. I'm walking my wife to the car, and I said, "Sweetie, we're going to have to find another place." And she said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Baby, they're not going to keep us here any longer. We're 2-14. She said, "Oh, no, they wouldn't do that." I said, "Oh, yes, they would." So, went set a novena and prayed, lit more candles than you can imagine. And that 2017 team then went on an 8-0 run, and we ended up in the semifinals. That will always be very special. The post-game meetings under the goalposts, the senior whitewater trips, the Thursday masses with Monsignor Lopez. The whole experience has been unbelievable, and I'm just glad to be a small part of it. This honor is tremendous and humbling, and I can't thank you enough. And go Lions. Thank you.
I like it.
I know.
Let's go.
Look here first, and then you're
Sorry about that.
very important.
Let's go. Not doing that. Let's go.
Congratulations.